Hey, good afternoon, Bright Futures. It's Dr. Stephanie coming to you live, and this is just kind of funny. We've got, I don't know, 7 books here stacked up. Caitlin, Ashley, and I have been really trying hard to figure out our lighting and figure out our camera computer angles. So if the computer just all of a sudden tips over, you'll know why that is. So I hope everybody is having an awesome day. We are getting ready to wrap up our Spring into Health topic in April, and we are going with the old adage, April showers bring May flowers. So, which is very fitting for today, that it is obviously raining and kind of icky outside. So we're going to wrap up with some optimism and some hope of looking into the future and looking into how to set really meaningful goals for yourself and some very specific strategies of how to achieve those. So I have not yet got on here and talked about my marathon. Many of you know, who I've spoken with in the office, that I am doing my very first ever full marathon, something that I said I would never ever do. I never really had an interest to do one or ever thought that I wanted to do one until this year came, and I decided that this is the year that I really start to find out kind of what I'm made of. How much strength do I really have inside of me? We have a really big vision for our family and for Bright Futures in particular. And to be honest with you, I realized that if I'm going to lead our community and lead our tribe, I have to continue to be the best that I can be. And so for me, that means constantly finding out where my limits are, where my boundaries are, and learning the strategies inside myself to break those and to crush them, so that I can then help you guys do the same thing. So we are now a week and a half out from race day. So I would love it if all of you who are competing in any event, whether you're walking, whether you're running, whether your kids are doing it, whether it's your spouse, please comment below so that we can all cheer for you and cheer you on, and all participate in the Flying Pig together. So I've got written down 8 strategies that have helped me specifically with this kind of massive goal that I set for myself to run this marathon. So if you've got a pen and if you've got a paper, this would be a great time to start taking some notes and just jot these things down. You know, the only way that life actually gets better and we can, you know, be the best version of ourselves is if we're constantly evaluating where maybe in our life we can do greater things and we can set goals for ourselves. So number 1 thing is to start with your why. You know, if you haven't read that book, Start With Why. It's a fabulous book. I've read it multiple times. I really like it, but that's so true. You know, so many of us know that when we go to set a goal, oh, I'm going to start walking, or I'm going to start eating healthy. And is it because you really want to? Is it because you have a really deep passion and burning desire to achieve that? Or is it because you feel like you should? And you know that, well, that's good for me. I know that I should walk, or I know that I should exercise. You know, they say that's good for me. I'll tell you that never goes far. I have things that I know I should do, that I want to do. I should want to do them. And for some reason, life gets in the way, and I have all the excuses of why I don't get those things done. So number 1 for your goal, whatever you want to achieve, and I would love for you guys to set this out anywhere from 60 to 90 days in advance. So that's why I said we're moving into May flowers. So we're going to hopefully kind of put this really crummy spring behind us and start really gaining momentum going into the summer months and ending our summer on a really high note, better than we are right now. So start with your why. What is that thing that you just have a really deep desire? Spend some time with it. Write it down. Number 2 is develop a plan. You can't just say, I think I'm going to do this, and then, you know, all of a sudden you realize that a month has gone by and, oh, I never did that. So develop your plan. Start at the end. What is your end goal? Set a time frame on it and work your way backwards. I spent more time possibly planning how I was going to actually fit in my training runs, how I was going to fit in the meals that I needed to eat, how I was going to fit in my recovery things like massages and things like that. So that has to be done. Otherwise, it's like gets in the way because life tends to do that. Write it down. So don't just say I'm going to do it, but write it down with a deadline, with your time, and put it in your calendar. So for all of you out there who live by your calendars, and I know every mom who's out there lives by a calendar with all the kids' sports things and all the kids' activities that's all over the calendar, please put yourself down and your goals and your action steps. Write it down. Put a time on it. Highlight it. It's an appointment, just like all the kids things that we have to do. Create a support system. So this has been so huge for me. So I think a lot of times if we set a big goal for ourselves, we're kind of almost like afraid to tell people. We don't want to actually let somebody know that this is something we want to work on because we're afraid of failing and we're afraid of letting them down or not following through. And just the opposite. There are going to be times in this pursuit of your goal, whatever that may be for you, that it's really hard. And that's really normal. And that's actually a really good sign that you're making progress. So just when you feel like, oh, I can't do it, I don't think I'm going to do this anymore, this is too hard for me, I'm really uncomfortable, I'm in pain, I'm in my agony, whatever it may be, that's actually a really good sign that you're making progress. As crazy, hey Shana, as it may sound, that's progress. The pain, the fear, the uncertainty, the feeling of being really out of your comfort zone, feeling really uncertain about the future and how long is this discomfort going to last. That's your way of knowing you're making progress. So stick with it. And when you have that support system in place, they're going to be there for you. Ask for help. Ask for help to your support system when you need it. There were several times during this training process for my race that I believed I couldn't do it. Whether it was I didn't get my long runs completed, my foot was hurting, what have you. I really believed I couldn't do it. And I reached out and I talked to Ashley. She's run a marathon, and I've got a couple of patients who've run marathons that I reached out to them saying, here's what I'm experiencing. Can you help me with this? And because they had already done it before, they were able to say, just smile and say, you're right where you should be. And I'm like, ugh, really? Because I don't feel like I'm right where I should be. I feel like I'm doing terrible at this. And just knowing that it's okay and I could keep going, let me take that next step further. So a support system is critical. Anything that you guys want to do, we are here, whether it's between me, Caitlin, Ashley, Brad, Shana, anybody else who's in the office, whether if we haven't actually tried something or done it, we know somebody who has and can hook you up and set you up with some support systems. So please share with us the things that you want to learn more about, the things that you're striving towards. When you need help, we want to be here for you. That's what we're here for. So ask for help when you need it. That fear and uncertainty that I talked about, those are really good signs that you're making progress. So keep at it, keep at the process. Growth really, truly does happen outside your comfort zone. So keep at it. Schedule rewards for yourself. So these don't have to, can be whatever it is that you want. But get those in. So make sure that you reward yourself. It doesn't have to be something you go out and buy or something that you go out and do, but it can just be indulging in a bubble bath and really like loving on yourself and being grateful for all the things that you're doing. And don't be afraid to share those. So make sure you're scheduling those rewards. And last but not least, enjoy the process. As we strive to be the best version of ourselves, and as we strive to model the best version of ourselves for our kids and our families and coach and inspire others around us, it doesn't mean every day's perfect. In fact, far from it. In my opinion, my growth has come from being able to see when I'm really off course or when I'm really feeling down about myself and being able to reach out and get help and pick myself back up. And the more I can share that with my kids and my family, and they see that I'm not perfect, I'm on this journey just like they are. Same with our patients. I mean, you guys know that one of my biggest things is just that I'm along with you, and I'm learning lessons along the way. I'm going to share them with you to help you, kind of point out that pothole in the road so you can avoid it. But we're all going to hit the potholes. And when we're in it together, and the strength of our community, that's why I'm really enjoying doing these lives. I hope that you guys are watching them. I hope that you're enjoying them. It's kind of my opportunity to connect with you and just let you know that as a whole, I see you all as a whole just really moving forward this year. And I'm so excited for the Mayflowers to come. We've got some really cool things coming starting next week, some really tangible action steps that we're going to start with our lives next Tuesday. So we're very excited about that, so make sure you're tuned in. A couple other announcements. Make sure that you are all signed up for our Kick the Sick webinar that we are hosting right along with our friends at the National Wellness Foundation. It's going to be an awesome webinar on the immune system. I'm going to be talking about the immune system next Tuesday. So if you want to share with your friends or your loved ones, anybody who you know is struggling with chronic illnesses, hey Justin, chronic allergies, immune challenges, ear infections, any of that, I'm going to go really deep into that next week. It's almost going to be kind of like a little mini webinar myself. I've already been starting to compile my presentation for that, informal presentation. So that's coming up. That webinar is next Thursday night, the 3rd. And then we are doing our Delivered. We have another Delivered coming up May 19th. So we love empowering moms to be and really helping them avoid the chronic immune challenges that we need to deal with in our Kick the Sick webinar. So we want to set those healthy patterns for life in pregnancy. Super important time. So those are 2 announcements coming up. And I hope everybody has a great day today. Look for our kind of switching of our themes next month in May. Have a great day, everybody. Shine bright.